Zuma.
All right, let's catch up with the live press conference that was held by the Gauteng Radical Economic Transformation in support for Zuma, which briefed the media. And of course, reporter Samkele Maseko was there, and of course they were talking about President Jacob Zuma refusing to appear before the State Capture Commission. So Samkele Maseko is on standby. Samkele, well, I mean, you've been at the press conference, and I saw you asking a question there. We had to cut out when you were still asking some questions there. What came out contextually from the answers that you were given when you were asking questions?
Essentially, what came out of this briefing of the Radical Economic Transformation Gauteng leg, which is seemingly led by Karl Niehaus as its secretary and also the spokesperson of MKMVA, is that they are pledging their undivided support for the former president of the country and the former president of the ANC, Jacob Zuma, and also pledging their support for the legally and politically embattled Secretary General of the African National Congress, alias Sekgobela Magashule, the SG. So they are essentially saying that the Deputy Chief Justice and Chairperson of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, took a very emotional decision that is devoid of the truth, and that there is a personal vendetta against the former president in his pursuit to paint him guilty at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. Karl Niehaus going further to say and alleging that the former public protector, Advocate Thuli Madonsela, is the one who said on this SABC platform that the State Capture Inquiry was essentially formed to find the former president Jacob Zuma guilty at all costs. We don't know the veracity of the truth of that particular statement. And going further to say that there was some sort of manipulation that took place overnight in the three names that were submitted to former President Jacob Zuma on who will become the chairperson of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. You'd remember three names were submitted to the former president to establish this particular commission and to choose the chairperson of this particular commission. And Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo was amongst those names. Karl Niehaus saying that what happened overnight, who intervened to change the Chief Justice's view that the justice decides should be the chairperson of this particular commission, and that the truth will come out in time. You've just heard that particular clip of Edward Zuma, the eldest son of the former president, in saying that there is something that the Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo is withholding from the country when it comes to his relationship with the former president. The chairperson of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry as well going further to say that the State Capture Commission of Inquiry will be going to the Constitutional Court now to seek an order for the imprisonment or some jail time for the former president in the virtue that he is in contempt of the highest court in the land, which is the Constitutional Court. But these people of the Radical Economic Transformation grouping within the ANC have pledged their undivided support to the former president of the Republic of South Africa and former president of the ANC, Jacob Zuma.
Samkele, when the press conference began, there was just, mention of several factors on why Jacob Zuma was a target before he became president and when he was president. But then one chilling factor was when Karl Niehaus was saying that it's not yet clear on the assassination of Chris Hani as to who was actually involved, and those people were exposed. One was expecting to hear more on that, but he just stepped on the issue and sidestepped it. Nothing new came out of it. Is there substance on the issue of Jacob Zuma being a target on the before, during, and after scenario of his presidency?
Those conspiracy theories of Jacob Zuma being a target of Western forces, those conspiracies were there heading to the Polokwane conference. They were there going to the 2005 National General Council of the African National Congress at the University of Pretoria. They were subsequently there after the Polokwane conference when Jacob Zuma had defeated former President Thabo Mbeki. They were there after the Mangaung conference in 2012. They were there after Nasrec conference. They are still here today. None of them have ever been proven. We've seen intelligence documents which were used to fire the then Minister of Finance, Pravin Gordhan. Many people have said that that particular document was laughable. You've seen the revelations coming out of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry of slush funds being used for internal fractional battles of the African National Congress, resources belonging to the State Security Agency of South Africa, allegedly by one of its acting director generals. You've heard allegations of 19 million rands flowing out of SSA going towards the Nasrec conference of the African National Congress on the 15th of December in 2017. One wonders what those funds were used for, and the allegations of millions of rands or billions of rands flowing through that African National ANC conference in 2017. So what we do know, as a matter of fact, is that there were bags of money at the ANC conference. We don't know what those monies were used for, coming from the State Security Agency, but also there were monies fundraised to the CR17 campaign of President Ramaphosa and dispersed to various individuals who were involved in his campaign. There are allegations that those monies were used to buy the elective conference of the African National Congress. Those in support of Ramaphosa are alleging that state security monies were used by those who were pro-Jacob Zuma at the time to influence the outcomes of Nasrec to his particular perspective of who he desired to become the president of the African National Congress. None of those have ever been proven. And the only thing we can ever say is that these conspiracy theories that are branded about in South African politics will continue to be branded around until some sort of proof comes to light. But what we do know through the evidence of the acting director general of the State Security Agency is that millions of rands were lost of State Security Agency. If I'm not mistaken, he said that in that period of from 2015 going up, an amount of about 9 billion rands was lost at State Security Agency. Carl Niehaus going further to say that the president of the ANC must account on the CR17 bank statements, and they must be unsealed so that they can also be perused, and saying that they support the Secretary General of the African National Congress on the assassination of the late General Secretary of the South African Communist Party. You remember former President Zuma, in his first appearance at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, he alleged that there are those within the African National Congress who were part and parcel of the assassination of the late General Secretary of the Communist Party and the late Chief of Staff of Umkhonto weSizwe. He also went further to allege that one of the ANC stalwarts, Ngwako Ramatlodi, is a spy of the apartheid regime. So there were lots of allegations being branded about Ngwako Ramatlodi coming out to deny those allegations of the former president. So the issues of conspiracy theories have become synonymous with the former president of the African National Congress and former president of the Republic of South Africa. Whether they are true or not is another debate on its own, yet to be tested.
Right, yeah. When I can hear you definitely on that, because he said that one day he will speak because he knows who died and where the graves were. And we had the question when we were talking about the how part of it when they said they will not allow President Jacob Zuma to be arrested. And of course, your brief comment on that before we take a break.
Essentially, they are saying that we as the media fraternity have characterized the issue of not allowing for the arrest of former president to be a blood affair or a violent affair. He's saying that they are yet to declare that particular perspective. What we do know is that the son of the former president, Edward Zuma, who was out speaking to the media fraternity, did say that if the police want to arrest the former president, he would simply lock the gates, and if the police open the gates once they are locked, then they would have to defend their property and defend their father and put their bodies on the line.
Okay, Samkele, let's leave it there. Samkele Maseko is a reporter who was at the press briefing there, which was held by the Jacob Zuma support group of the Radical Economic Transformation in Gauteng.